so we have a glitch. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Alright, YouTube is going. YouTube always goes. Instagram looks okay. Facebook looks okay. Alright, let me do my window checks here. And then we will jump in. Okay, YouTube looks good. Instagram is going to cut part of my face off as usual. Alright. Okay, that's live. And let's do Facebook. Alright. Live video is starting. Alright, I am now live. Okay. Alright, guys, we are live everywhere. Is it live or is it Memorex? No, it's live this week. I know. If you you're my age, if you remember that little slogan, but okay, so we made it to another Friday. Kudos to us. Okay, we made it. All right. We have lots of Muppet news this week. So, in honor of our Muppet news, hold on, let me get my notes here. Okay, in honor of our Muppet notes, we have special guest, meep meep, and actually that sounded more like Roadrunner. He's more like meep meep meep. Okay, and hi ho, it's Kermit the Frog. Okay, all right. Always helps to be a little silly on a Friday. What can I say? I was a lot silly, but you know. Okay, so what have I done for travel clients this week? I am meeting with honeymooners this weekend. They're looking for somewhere warm and beachy. So I have a couple ideas for them. Cruises and an all-inclusive and Hawaii. There's also, I don't know when their honeymoon is yet, but if it's the right time of year, there are really nice beaches in Florida, really nice beaches in California, and of course we have the East Coast beaches, some of which are nicer than others. But I'm going to meet with them this weekend and try to get a better idea what they're looking for. I've booked, I've priced rental cars for my cruise clients. I investigated travel insurance and learned we have some new vendors for that, so I jumped into that a little bit. So now that you know some of the things I did in my week and some of the things we do for travel clients that might not be an intuitive jump, like travel insurance and destination research. Let's talk Muppets. Muppets are opening May 26th, which is not quite 2 weeks away, about a week and a half. I don't know if you've seen any. I know there are things out there on social, but Scooter is a fully done animatronic, and from what I understand, they used footage of Scooter to program the animatronic, so it very much will move and speak and think like Scooter, which I think is really, really cool. There is a rainbow paint job on the ride vehicles. I don't know that it matches the guitar, but you can see it in some of the photos. I think that's really cool. You know, that psychedelic rainbow Studebaker vibe is living on. Um, the Penguins, if you remember, Muppet Vision 3D had the Penguin Orchestra. The Penguins are now in the sound booth. They have changed careers, and they are now in the sound booth. But I'm glad they are still part of the Muppet experience. Um, okay, so now what I think might be the coolest thing I've seen yet, and Disney is not done releasing info about it, about the Rock and Roller Coaster overhaul. But the food, if you remember, there was that little radio station food booth in the courtyard. Um, that will now be Food by Swedish Chef, and food has crosses like diagonal slashes over the O's. I think that's Swedish, but I have no idea how to pronounce it. So instead of butchering it, I'm just going to go with food. And when I learn how to pronounce it correctly, I will let you know so that you will know too. Um, so that looks really, really cool. I think it's really cool that they gave Swedish Chef his own little piece of the magic. I love that Scooter is still running the show. I love that they included the penguins. Your ride vehicle photos will look like a press pass or a backstage pass. They'll be, this way instead of this way, and it will the mock-up that I've seen. It'll be you in the car just like it was, but it'll be part of your VIP pass now. So I think that's cool. Um, and my notes just shut. Um, Couple other cool things. Big Thunder is back open. We have new track, new trains, and a couple other additions. There's now a cavern that you go through full of rainbow stalagmites and stalactites. Um, and of course, Cool Kid Summer is going to kick off very soon. We have HBO Glow Nights back at the water park. And Soren is, of course, doing a special show they're doing an America themed movie for the 250th anniversary. And that'll kick off end of May in Walt Disney World and beginning of July in Disneyland. But at least at Walt Disney World, I think at both, but at least at Walt Disney World, in the queue, you are now going to be able to play America Trivia, which for those of us who are trivia buffs, I think could be really cool. I also think since, it's the 250th, I'm hoping that Sam Eagle gets a gig in the 250th celebration. I'm sure Disney's going to do more than just retheme Soarin' for the event. So I'm hoping that Sam Eagle also gets a couple minutes. A salute to all nations, but mostly America. I'm hoping that some of that um, comes out, or that I know previously the Muppets have taken over the America Pavilion. Um, so I'm hoping that might happen too. Don't forget, Butterbeer season is wrapping up at Universal. There are waffles, there are crepes, there is ice cream, and I had the Butterbeer Cinnabon and the Butterbeer Coolada. I think they call it. It's not a Coolada, Chilada. This week, and they were good. The Cinnabon has Butterbeer crystals. They look actually like they're gold edible glitter, but I think they have some butterbeer in them too. Um, they were both very good. I'm not sure it was the smartest move in the world to get them both together. But if you're going to Cinnabon with a friend, it might be nice to get a Cinnabon, get a drink, and split them. I think splitting them probably would um, be a good way to get your butterbeer fix. Um, I'm a little sad that butterbeer season is leaving, but why does my nose always itch Friday at 4? Um, but I know there's other cool stuff coming for the summer to all the parks, so I'm excited. I also watched, there is a behind the scenes series that Universal did for the parks. They talk about Epic, they talk about some of the other things. The I only watched the first episode. It's really cool. I plan to watch the rest of it, but I only got one episode in this week. But in that they talk a little bit about the theming and the story and stuff behind Epic, and they tell you a lot about the carousel, how it's not built like a standard carousel, the different ways it moves, the different things it can do. Um, and it's really cool. So if you're at all interested in that, you can find it on Peacock. Um, and of course, if you would rather watch the Disney ones, there's Behind the Magic on Disney Plus. I've watched them; they're really cool. But I'm also finding the Universal ones very interesting too. I always love that behind the scenes stuff. I love to ride the ride, but I also like to know how it became the ride and how it works and all of those things. Disney is also putting out for the summer a 4-day park ticket for Florida residents. Um, and it works similar to the other 4-day park tickets that they were doing a little while ago. It's a little different for Florida residents, but they are very similar. So if you want to spend 4 days in the parks this summer and you live in Florida, let me know. I can help you with your tickets. Um, Fun fact: you actually have to be registered with the state of Florida as a travel agent to help residents of Florida. Um, just one of those fun facts. And yes, I do have my certificate. Yes, I have my certificate, and I would be happy to help you. Um, I know the days are winding down. I know we're getting close to Memorial Day. I know we're getting ready to kick off summer. But I want to give a shout out to all the kids that are finishing school, taking finals, taking AP exams, the parents who are gearing up for graduation. Maybe you're hosting a house full of people. Maybe all the grandparents are coming and the aunts and uncles, and um, maybe it's going to be a big, big, huge thing. Maybe it's high school, maybe it's college, maybe it's a graduate degree. Um, Maybe you have a really cool, like a day at the theme park or a day at the water park planned for your elementary school or lower school graduate. That's also cool for the middle schoolers. Um, and maybe you're thinking, what can I do to celebrate them? I don't really want to do the typical. I don't want to just write them a check. I don't want to give them a gift card. Um, why not plan an experience? You don't have to take a 5-day cruise. You don't have to take a 7-day trip to the theme parks. What about a day trip to New York to see a Broadway show? Or do something else in New York they really want to do? If you're going to do the Broadway show, you should also do Ellen's Stardust Diner. Um, you could take them to their favorite team sporting event. Maybe they follow an out of town team. Maybe they're in Maryland, but they follow a team in Seattle or Washington State or California. Why not do a day at the ballpark? Or maybe they have a hobby. Maybe they're really into science fiction and comic books and stuff. Maybe take them to a nearby, to Comic Con. Um, all that stuff makes really cool memories, makes really cool gifts. If they're a crafter, take them to a craft festival, or take them to that fabric shop they've always wanted to visit, or that bookstore that you always pass on the way home from the beach every year, but you've never stopped into. Maybe make it a day trip. Go down, do the bookstore, get some food on the way back. Um, it's okay to give presents. It's also okay to give memories. Memories last a long, long, long time. Um, and in their own way, they are just as valuable and just as memorable as anything you could put in a box. So, just putting some food for thought out there. I know we've probably got some newly engaged couples as well, maybe some June weddings coming up. Um, Again, sometimes memories are just as cool. So, if I can help you plan an adventure that makes those memories, let me know. Until next week, I want everybody to stay safe, stay well, and I will see you next Friday for another kickoff to the weekend. Have a great week ahead, guys.